Hello, and welcome to At Home with Your Library. This is Emily from the Raceland branch, and today I'm going to show you how to properly shine a pair of shoes. Let's gather our materials and get started. We start by removing the laces from our shoe, and then we're ready to examine it and remove any dirt that's on it. What I like to do is see if there are any scuff marks on your shoes. So you see we have a little scuff mark, just a little dull patch right here. And what I like to do with those little scuffs, just rub against it with my finger to pull off that residue. And then I take a brush. I'm using a horsehair brush because the bristles are very soft. And I just go over the shoe, removing any dirt or dust that has gathered in it. There we go, we're ready to begin shining. Now we want to pick a polish that matches our shoe. So for these black shoes, we have a black shoe polish. And for our cloth, you can use a microfiber cloth or an old t-shirt. I like to use old socks. If you have socks that have holes in them or are wearing down, don't get rid of them. Just recycle them to shine your shoes with. They work perfectly well. I'm gonna take the old sock and kind of make a little point right here with it and load a little bit of the polish onto my cloth. And what we want to do is smear the polish over it as evenly as we can. And I like to go in little circles so that it's really easy to see where the polish is getting rubbed on. And it's going to make the shoe look a little more dull in color. You can see the toe is a lot duller looking of a black than the rest of the shoe. And we continue the rest of the shoe this way, loading on polish, gently smearing it in circles across the shoe. Make sure you don't forget the tongue of the shoe as well. Even though that's normally covered by laces, you still want it to be clean and look nice. This is honestly a very relaxing process. I remember getting excited when my dad would pull out his shoes and pull out the shoe polish, and I would be fascinated by watching my parents shine shoes, and that's how I learned how to do it. Okay, now that we have applied polish all over our shoe, we would let it sit for a couple of minutes, let the polish rest on it, and after 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to buff the polish off of this, and you'll get to really see it shine. Now that our polish has had time to dry a little bit, we are ready to buff off that layer of polish. And again, I like to use a sock to do this. I turn the sock to the inside of it for that sort of more bristly, similar to microfiber texture, and it works perfectly. Now we didn't have to do a whole lot of pressure to get the polish onto the shoe, but the shining takes a little bit more elbow grease, so you'll press a little bit harder when you're doing this. And what you'll do is just vigorously go over the polish that's on there, and it'll come off onto your cloth. And this is what will give you that signature shine of a good polish. So we'll do this all the way around the shoe, everywhere we applied polish, making sure to go into those little crevices there and into every part of the shoe that we were applying polish to. I like to turn my cloth around a little bit as I get polish off on it to find some drier spots to keep working with, and we continue on. And afterwards, you have a almost brand new looking shoe from a good polish. All we have left to do is relace our shoes, and our shoes are ready to be worn. Thanks again for joining me for At Home with Your Library. I hope you learned something new and useful. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like putting on a pair of freshly polished shoes to make you feel like you can conquer anything the day has for you. Thanks again for joining me, and stay shiny.